Characteristics of Devotion and Rarity of Metre, a stylistic approach on Asvadhatikavya. Asvadhatikavya is an unfamiliar Sanskrit poem that deals with the importance and necessity of devotion. This article endeavors to examine the distinctive elements of devotion and variety of metre implemented in the poem. Life and works of the author. Jagannatha, also known as Jagannatha Pandita, has authored the poem Asvadhatikavya. He is not the same as the Rasagangadharakara Jagannatha. He was a court poet of King Sharabhoji or Sarfoji I, one of the famous Maratha kings. Umanandanatha is the Diksha name of Jagannatha. He was the disciple of the Shakta writer Kamakshi Suri or Kameshwara. He has received Bhaskaracharya or Bhasuranandanatha as his Diksha Guru. Jagannatha was an ardent devotee of Parashakti. Jagannatha has contributed 3 poems and 2 dramas to the field of Sanskrit literature: Asvadhatikavya, Aryastavaraja, Sharabharaja Vilasa, Ratimanmadha Nataka, and Vasumati Parinaya Nataka, respectively. He has also authored 3 works in the field of Shakta named Nityolsava Nibandha, Bhaskara Vilasa Kavya, and Hridayamrita. A thematic appraisal on Asvadhatikavya. As mentioned above, one of the literary works of Jagannatha is Asvadhatikavya. The poem has a devotional style and possesses a kind of simplicity and attractiveness in the style of writing. The important aspect of the poem is the subject which it deals with. It is a kind of devotional as well as didactic poem that has some differences from the typical devotional poems. It can be seen that the poem was composed by the author for his grandson. It was mentioned by him in the last verse. Ramanamna swapautrasya kamana puranotsuka ashwadhatim jagannatho vishwahridyam arirachat. The poem comprises 26 verses that deal with the significance of devotion. The different verses of the poem deal with different deities. The 7 verses on Vishnu, 10 on Shiva, and 8 on Ishwari. The opening verse praises the greatness of the deity Rama, and the verse suggests worshipping Rama. It is Angadridakshidijam Anganabhiknya Shashi Shankakarasya Sushamam Tankari Chapamanu Lankasharaksadaja Pangavarushita Sharam Tvam Kamadam Vihidarankavanam Danuja Kankalanodinamana Tankaya Valsa Bhajatam Kalamegharuga Hankarahari Vapusham. Here, the poet suggests worshipping Rama for free from all the worldly illness. Rest of the verses emphasizes the negligence of the immortal life and pleasures after death and highlights the importance of worship. Characteristics of devotion and rarity of metre in the poem. Devotion is an emotion or mental state in which a person forms a close bond with a lovable deity and as a result finds total solace from their miseries. It has a distinguishable trait that commonly not seen in other devotional poems. Unlike the normal devotional poems, Asvadhatikavya is a kind of moral guide that emphasizes the value of devotion and advises to neglect the momentary pleasures. Devotional poems have been a common trait to worship a favorite deity by prayers and requests, but in the present poem advocates the directions and provides ample advice to serve the god and thereby attain absolute salvation. Here it is important that the poet does not stick to a single deity, but he explains the worship to more than one at the same time. Some of the poets have praised their favorite deity in the opening verses of their poems to the fruitful completion without any obstacles. Jagannatha is entirely different from those regarding this poem. Although he is a devotee of Parashakti, his poem is not only favorable to her. The verses that mainly emphasize Bhakti are Sapaya metya vapurapadaremya manutapadrade sakutukam Dvipanagahishi samipadigana kridadi bhipata gheda ganana Bhupana sevishi surupakrite kaha Natupagamam sukhalavam Gopaya mam sapati gopala dhuryatava Gopaya nasti vishaya. And Ganjayido dhimati ganjaparopi bada sanjayadetra dhanata sanjaghaditi gunapunjayidasya natu gunjamidam cha kanakam kim jagrati jayasi kim janati swapishi sinjanat nupurapade tanjapureshi nava kanjakshi sadhu tadidam jaduvaki mushive pandavadagrima vijandavapurtimanu randavideya kutilo dandaviveka dhani chandalageha bhuvi dandahadim kimayase Ghandamrudadyuti shikhandamupaswa suraghandarchidangri kamalam bhandasuradruham ajandatmikam chitimaghandam jadatma sukhadam. The usage of meter. Usage of various kinds of poetic meters enhances the beauty of poetry. As the name indicates, Asvadhatikavya was composed in a probably rare meter called Asvadhati. The name itself highlights the nature of it. That means the meter is structured like the movement of a horse. This kind of meter is not a widely used one. Moreover, it is familiar in the name of Mattebha in several poetic texts. It is a Sanskrit meter which included in the category of Akriti. The word Mattebha means the mast in elephants. It indicates the movement of an elephant. In this meter, 22 syllables are in each line or pada. It is a Samavritta famous for Dwadasha Prasa. Poems composed in this meter is very rare. It is believed that certain lines of Ayyappa Suprabhata and the poem Kali Stuti are compositions in the same meter. Ayyappa Suprabhata like Vyagri Charesha Bhavadat Suprabhadamiha Pampadadadriyadhipate etc. And Kali Stuti is Chedi Bhavan Nikhila Ghedi Kadambhavana Vadishu Nakapatali Kotira Charutara Koti Mani Kirana Koti Karampitapada etc. The meter Mattebha was defined in Vrittaratnagara of Kedara Bhatta. Tobho yajau saranaga pankti surya yadi Mattebha matra katitham. Sagana, Bhagana, Yagana, Jagana, Sagana, Ragana, Nagana and Guru are the structure of the meter. It is very clearly seen in Asvadhatikavya. That is, Angadrida Kshitija Mangana Bhiknya Shashi Shangakarasya Sushamam etc. Here the syllable Nga is repeating in the 2nd, 9th and 16th position in each line. It occurs 12 times in total. Thus it is called the Dwadasha Prasa. Furthermore, the lyrics possess a beautiful rhythm throughout the poem. It is the special feature of the poem that differs from others. This peculiar kind of rhythm leads to the name Mattebha or Asvadhati. Conclusion. Asvadhatikavya of Jaganatha as a southern Sanskrit devotional poem composed in around 18th century can be treated as a product of Bhakti movement. It may consider as a peculiar form of devotional lyrics. It shows the philosophy and devotional ideas of the poet. Jagannatha and his works will open new ways to the field of Sanskrit and Tamil literary contacts. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Romba interesting paper idu. And the Asvadhati meter, the Mattebhaங்கிறது intoxicated elephant எப்படி sway பண்ணிட்டே இருக்குமோ அது மாதிரி இந்த குதிரை வந்து ஸ்வேயிங் குதிரையா இருந்தது. அது ரொம்ப அழகா இருந்தது. எக்ஸலண்ட் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன். குட். இந்த செஷன் வந்து ரொம்ப எல்லாருமே ரொம்ப நல்லா பண்ணினா. முதல்ல அருணகிரி ஆரம்பித்து மோகன் அவர் வந்து அதுலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து கடைசி அஸ்வதாட்டி வரைக்கும் ரொம்ப பிரமாதமாக பக்தி மூமெண்ட்டை அவள் கணாபத்தியம் ஆஸ் வெல் அஸ் அந்த கௌமாரம் ரெண்டுத்தையுமே ரொம்ப அழகாக எல்லாரும் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணால். நீங்களும் ரொம்ப ஸ்ரத்தையாக கேட்டால். எல்லாருக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி. தேங்க்யூ.